What's up, everybody? I'm Matt, that's Dan, and this is the Game of the Week show.
Right.
How the devil are you?
I'm good, you?
I'm very well. All the better for that damn Ash isn't here.
Yeah.
In the words of himself, so that we can't be criticised for being mean, he needs to sort his life out.
Yeah, he definitely said that on the phone.
He did say that word.
He did say that.
He decided that Christmas had come early and he was going to party too hard, not realising that he had professional commitments, such as this.
Pre-agreed professional commitments as well.
And apparently 3 o'clock is too early in the day. 3 o'clock in the afternoon is too early in the day to be recording, so he's not coming. But we don't need him. We'll have a better show about it. This is normally, well, it is a weekly show. The three, in this case two of us do, every Monday, where we get together to discuss the latest news topics in the video game industry. We also go through the game releases for that week before each picking our favourite games of the week. So if you like video game news, along with Let's Plays, conversations, other content, you can find out everything we do on thegameinitiative.com. The link to that is down below. And just one more thing, or two more things of housekeeping before we get into the show.
So much housekeeping this week.
I know. Number one, thank you very much to Anne-Marie and Ben for sending us our very first fan mail in the form
It's
of...
one of those two.
I can't see from the back, yes, but the Vault Boy, Bobblehead. Bobble. He's going to fall off.
Yeah,
be careful. So thank you very much for that. And secondly, this is going to be our last show of the year. We have Christmas off.
Yeah, so you know how Matt just said before that it was a weekly show?
Yeah, I lied.
We're taking 2 weeks off.
I think they're the only 2 weeks in the year we miss. So after this, there'll be a couple of weeks off before we come back. So even more of an excuse to watch this episode because...
It's your last fill of the year.
Last fill of us.
Yeah.
So number one, getting into the news, Dan. Kojima is back.
Hey!
He's back off holiday. He's not working. Surprise, surprise, he's no longer working for Konami. He has formed his own studio, an independent studio called Kojima Productions. Very original name. But this week, Andrew House, the president of Sony Computer Entertainment, came out to announce that they got a new partnership with one of the most celebrated game developers in history. That was Kojima. Kojima's first game is going to be a collaboration with PlayStation, so therefore a exclusive or console exclusive to the PS4.
Yeah.
So a lot of people got all excited about how Sony had signed him, blah blah blah. I was like, no, they haven't actually signed him. He's independent.
Yeah.
He's just going to work.
They signed a contract to work with him on a project.
Which makes sense. He's a new studio. He has no money. Well, he probably has a lot of money, but not enough to make a game straight off. So he needs to partner with someone. Partnering with Sony makes sense. Metal Gear has always been it was exclusive all the way up till Metal Gear 4, I think, was the first time it came to Xbox.
I do wonder though how long this has been in the pipeline, because it was like Konami released him one day and then they announced this partnership the next.
This
so it's like, I wonder when everything was agreed in principle.
Well, yeah, I'm sure they've been. I mean, he was effectively kicked out of the building in October, and so I'm sure, and that was very publicly known. Even though Konami was saying he was on vacation, basically that's the equivalent of what adults tell their children when their pets die and tell them that the pets have gone to the farm.
Oh yeah, he's been taken to a farm upstate where he's got lots of room to run around.
Yeah, that was what Kojima was doing. So obviously this has been long in the works. Some people, fanboys, I don't really like that phrase very much, but you know, people saying how another nail in the coffin of Microsoft. Do you really agree? There's no guarantee this game's going to be good.
No, it's like, yeah, he's got the history behind him, but you don't know what they're going to be working on. You don't know how wide an audience it's going to actually appeal to.
Yep.
Once it's done. So no doubt what they produce will be of a fairly decent quality.
But is it going to be?
Whether it hits is a very different thing.
Metal Gear is a great game. Talked about it at length. You know, it's one of my favourite franchises, but it doesn't sell that well. Like,
that's what I mean.
It's not a Call of Duty. It's not a Fallout 4. It's not even a Halo. It's not huge. It does respectable. I think they did 5 million in their first month, which is very, very good. You know, I'm not saying it's not good, but that was probably their best Metal Gear launch. And these games take a long time. It makes sense that he's with Sony because, you know, he's Japanese, all that kind of heritage, and the previous partnership. So
Well, that's where Metal Gear Solid started, wasn't it?
yeah, exactly. It was technically it was on Nintendo.
Well, no, true.
But yeah, but Metal Gear Solid, yes, started on PlayStation, but Metal Gear was Nintendo. But happy to see he's back. Obviously, he's one of the most talented developers, whether you like him or not. So we'll look for that game in 2022.
At least,
probably.
yeah.
Talking of partnerships, there's rumblings around the internet of another partnership. Everyone talking about.
I love the internet rumblings.
I love the internet rumblings. What would we do? What would we talk about if we didn't have people come out with rumours?
Yeah.
There'd
be a lot less.
I said this was a news show. It's basically news and gossip.
We'd have 3 topics rather than 5.
Yeah, we would. So this one came. Microsoft Game Studios basically sent a tweet out, or no, had a tweet sent to them asking if Rare Replay would be coming to Wii U, because we've had Minecraft, which is a Microsoft-owned IP, now coming out for Wii U. It should be out now. Obviously, Rare Replay, a lot of those games came from Nintendo consoles originally, before Microsoft bought Rare. And they basically said, you'd have to... sounds like a great idea, you'd have to ask the guys at Rare. Kind of, obviously a tongue-in-cheek comment. But everyone was like, oh, Microsoft are going to team up, this is the start of a relationship. So MS Studios had to shoot this down and basically say, this is not happening. There's not going to be any other games coming. Other than Minecraft, there will be no other games coming to the Wii U at this time. just keeping people on the edge of that.
You've got to stoke the fire a little bit, but you don't want to flare it up too much.
Poking the bear from a very safe distance.
Yeah, you just want to keep it going just a tiny bit, but no. I mean, at the end of the day, they're not going to turn around and absolutely flat out say no business relationship ever.
No, you never burn bridges like that.
Yeah, so they have to say, so it's the right business speak.
Yeah, of course it is.
But it's going to make people go, but they didn't say no.
But let me put something to you that I'm sure people have brought up before. But Nintendo, everyone out there will agree, you will agree, I'll agree, they have great games, they have great IP.
Yes.
Zelda, Mario, just those two alone are 2 of the most iconic franchises in history. Nintendo, as a hardware developer, this NX coming out next year, we've talked about it before on the show, Last Chance Saloon. Agreed? Okay. If that's a failure,
if you're talking big boy console, yes.
Yeah. Now, if this was a failure as well, Nintendo might go, you know what? Let's just focus on what we're great at, and that's making games. Obviously, our hardware sales are diminishing now. Let's stop losing money on this. Let's focus on our games. Let's release them on the consoles that are shifting millions and millions of units. Now, Sony and Nintendo had a big falling out. We talked about that. That Nintendo PlayStation console. There was this big history there. They don't like each other very much. So what about if Nintendo... This is me doing what the internet does.
You're going to rumble.
Yeah. Nintendo partners with Microsoft in the future. Nintendo games on Xbox. How much would that change? Imagine if all of a sudden you got Mario exclusive to Xbox. How crazy would that be?
That would be a big game changer.
It would, wouldn't it?
Things. Yeah, because one of the reasons people don't buy the Nintendo consoles is because it's only there's 1 or 2 good games, so they don't want to shell out the money for something that rarely gets used. But then being just say, I've already got the Xbox, let's just buy the new Mario.
Whatever. Then when you're looking,
that's a bigger install base.
Yeah, you're not talking, because obviously this isn't going to happen now. We're going to have the NX. This is way in the future if it ever happens.
Yeah.
But Microsoft must be, they're not stupid, they must be kind of thinking that this could be a possibility somewhere in the future, so that's why they're keeping Nintendo sweet, they're giving them... Minecraft has to be everywhere, that just makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's always good to never burn bridges, always keep good ties in business world, because you never know when they might come in handy.
Yeah, and it's also because Microsoft is a North American company, Nintendo's a Japanese company, it's not that sort of regional rivalry. Yeah. Whereas obviously with Sony, the history is it is.
It is.
You're competing in your home turf as opposed to building an alliance to basically rule both sides of the Pacific.
I mean, you could flip and say if Nintendo and Sony had never had this bad blood, then maybe they would have been more likely to tie with their neighbours. Because
if we didn't have this bad blood sort of thing, then the whole gaming world would be very different today.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, it's probably going to be... If Nintendo did ever make this move, the smart thing would be to release it everywhere. Like, why tie yourself to one system? If you're going to release games, release them everywhere. But if Microsoft obviously a lot better off financially than Sony, so they could throw a lot more money at Nintendo than Sony could. I mean, again, in 10 years' time, if Sony might be in a completely different situation. But I can never imagine them having Microsoft money because they've got that Windows.
Yeah.
The Windows selling business is a big business. So keep watching this space because I'm sure we'll still be doing the show when it comes out in 10 years' time.
If not, we'll have a very special episode.
Still at this table, haven't been able to expand. Maybe up to 100 viewers now, 100 subscribers. Number 3 on the list, we are moving over to Destiny now. Obviously, everyone knows Destiny, one of the biggest games of the last couple of years. Microtransactions, that devil phrase that everyone hates, or loves to hate, I would say. You can now, or Bungie are now offering the ability for you to buy a level boost pack, which basically takes your character straight up to level 25 for the cost of £25, so £1 a level. And that applies to all 3 classes, Hunter, Warlock, and the other one, I don't know. I would have wrote it down, but I didn't really...
I've never played Destiny,
people know what the classes are, they don't need me telling them. So what do you think about this? I mean, the internet obviously were like, oh, pay to win, and blah, blah, stupid because everyone hates microtransactions. I've been speaking to Destiny people, obviously level 25 is nowhere near the cap. The cap is level 40, so it's not like you're paying to be elite.
Yeah. Level
25 is also the level that you had to be for the Taken King, and people that bought the Taken King got one of these upgrades for free anyway with their game. So, what do you think of this?
Well, I don't really see how it works if it's already coming with the Taken King.
Well, it's obviously it's all 3 classes now. So the Taken King, you could have got a level 25 Hunter.
Oh, so that only applied to one.
Yeah, you could get one.
Right, okay.
But obviously, you might want to have 3 characters. And it might be the people that didn't buy the Take. Well, I'd imagine most people bought the Take.
I would assume if you're going to throw 25 quid at the game to level up, you're also buying the full
that's
range
true.
of what you can get.
Yeah, they probably have. But I mean, it's just a way, I suppose. Maybe you've played with a Hunter the whole time. I'm assuming a Hunter's a thing. I could just keep saying Warlock is definitely a thing, so let's go Warlock. Warlock, and then you want to go, you know what? I want to be one of these characters, but I don't want to have to play the game from the start again and grind all the way up. Yeah. It's not long, 20 hours-ish, but still. You don't want to grind over that weekend, you want to just jump straight in.
It's one of those things where at the end of the day, I see it as if all you're doing is putting the time into Destiny. If you're one of those people, kind of thing, and that is your plan going forwards, then that is the 25 quid that you're not spending on a different game. That's not taken out of your budget.
No.
However, if you're really late to the party in terms of Destiny, and all you're doing is to play with your friends for a bit, because they've all been like, oh, this game's great, you've got to jump on board.
Yeah.
To shell out that 25 quid to have to be able to access parts of the game. Because again, I've not played it, but I'm assuming you are locked out.
There's a lot of raids and stuff. You have to be certain levels.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where it's like you're kind of penalised in one sense because you've got to get to that level to be able to play the game.
Yeah.
And so, if you're if you're late, you want to be able to jump up there.
Yeah, so then you just buy the Taken King, don't you? You get one upgrade because if you're a casual fan, you probably don't care about having level 25 for all 3 classes.
Yeah,
probably. The only thing, I have no problems with it. If people want to buy it, it's fine. If they, vote with your wallet, don't buy them if you don't want them. If this was to level 40, to get yourself maxed right to the top, I'd have more of an issue with it.
Yeah, well, that's another
because
thing.
Then you could argue it's a pay to win, but this
is
very
much
middle
ground.
It's middle, and you can do it in 20 hours. It's not like it's a pay to win is where you can get to this level, but it'll take you about 200 hours of playing it, or you can buy it instantly.
Yeah,
you could knock this out in a weekend if you wanted. I don't understand why you would pay money on a game and then pay money to not have to play the game.
Yeah,
that's what I take.
That is the odd thing, but again, I guess it depends on what you're trying to achieve out of the game in the first place. If you're wanting to get to raids and so on faster and get there with your friends who are already at those levels, I can understand it. But if you're starting from the ground up and you're just playing by yourself, play the game.
Play a game, exactly. So there you go. That is available for those people out there that just have money to burn.
Yeah.
Number 4, we're talking about PlayStation VR. It's been a hot topic on and off the show for, God, how long? When was it first announced? Probably a year now almost, when back when it was Morpheus.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So the release date is now coming. We don't know it yet. They're still holding firm at 2016 summer, hopefully. So still holding strong, but it's going to be coming out with No Man's Sky, and that's going to be a game.
So it'll be at Christmas then.
Hopefully before then. But there's been a report out this week from a reporter at Polygon who had some hands-on time with it at a recent event. Not surprised, it's been big at PSX and all the other things. There's no photos around because they weren't allowed to take photos, but what he claims is that the VR comes with an external processing unit, basically a box that does all the hard work, and it's the size of a Wii, just slightly smaller than a Wii. So quite a sizable box.
Yeah.
Which at first I was like, that's really big and annoying, and then like 5 seconds later I was like, oh, hang on a minute, it's just going to go in my media unit under my TV. I'm never going to see it. This doesn't bother me at all. But I just thought it was interesting to bring it out there because we've never been told about this extra unit. It's always just been, it makes sense because there's only so much tech you can fit in the head, and you don't want to make the headset too heavy.
It's like, so I'm really enjoying my game.
Yeah. Like breaking your neck if you play for more than half an hour or something. So it makes sense, but I just thought it was interesting that we've never heard about this thing before, and now we're actually going to get quite a big...
Yeah, it does make sense. I mean, maybe still in development, and that size of everything might get whittled down a bit.
It could get, yeah, that's true.
Kind of thing. You don't know if it's still essentially a prototype at this stage, isn't it?
It's moving towards the final one, but yeah, obviously 6 months, a lot can still change in 6 months.
That's what I mean. So there's still tinker time.
Yeah,
and so
definitely.
So like it could get scaled back, but obviously it needed an external thing if you think about it.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to be able to plug something like that into the PS4 and it have enough like CPU power to just be go, oh, you want me to do all this as well?
Render it, yeah.
You've got it.
When you think about
because you'd basically like be playing for 5 minutes, you'd pop the headset up and you actually find your PS4's on fire because it's overheated so much.
Yeah,
kind of.
I mean, yeah, you got to think what it's doing, like the amount of graphics that it's rendering and stuff to create that virtual world. It makes sense to have an extra box. The PS4, it was obviously designed very much with VR in mind. They must have had it there, but at the same time, it wasn't going to necessarily release with all the capability tech because when they're doing a console, they want to release it as cheaply as possible and in as kind of a compactor box as possible, and we always talk about how sleek and slim and quite really compact the PS4 is, especially compared to the Xbox One. So yeah, it doesn't bother me that I have this extra box, but
no, because like you said, cheap. You want to release it as cheaply as possible. And if they'd put it tacked on to the end or the side of the PS4 and said, yeah, you're paying for an extra 200 quid on the console for the VR stuff that's in there.
Yeah.
Well, not everyone wants it.
Exactly.
So it makes sense that it's a separate thing. It's like a Kinect.
What do you reckon? 200 quid when it comes out?
150 to 200, somewhere in that range.
Well, when you think about the fact that controller...
Especially now we're talking unit as well. Like, like what? Controllers are like
50 quid. Yeah. So it's not going to be anyone that thinks it's going to be under 100 quid is just dreaming.
No, you're probably talking somewhere along the lines of 75 to 100 for the headset part,
at least,
and close-ish to for the box.
I'm there with two. I reckon 200 sounds reasonable. I would pay 200 for it, provided there's some decent games like No Man's Sky. So
we're going to put that in the tags again. Now that we've mentioned it a couple of times.
No Man's Sky. Boom. Still getting views. The final news item of the day. We have to bring it. What a beautiful way to end the year with our news. Yeah. Yarny, the adorable little creature of wool and yarn. Unsurprisingly, he is the main character in Unravel, which was a real highlight of EA's press conference at E3 this year. The bloke came. Do you remember the bloke? He came on stage with Yarny, and the camera was in on him, and his hands were like shaking because he was so nervous because it's like this this Swedish independent developer who's never really had a big game before being put on a stage in front of like not only hundreds of people but being broadcast to like millions around the world.
More to the point, it was hundreds of PlayStation fans.
Well, that as well.
But as in like like the hardcore.
No, this was E3.
No, but as in like still when you go to those conferences.
Oh, it's the hardcore fans.
You're going to be the one. You're going to be the big
and
fans.
Video and stuff. Yeah. But anyway, we now have a release date for him, February 9th. So coming pretty soon, just over a month now. Good time. February isn't that busy.
It was. It's not now.
No, it is pretty busy still. That's the same day as Firewatch is coming out. So,
ooh.
I mean, then neither of them are going to be huge games. So I don't think it's a case of, oh no, I'm getting Firewatch, I now can't get Unravel, or vice versa. So, but if you've only got an Xbox, then that doesn't matter because Firewatch is a console exclusive to PS4, or at least timed exclusive. So there we go. The latest trailer. It's a story trailer. I mean, there's not that much story that gets ruined, so you can watch it. Don't worry about that. But the visuals, I don't know if you saw it, but looks like a really, really beautiful game.
Yeah, you're talking like I haven't seen the latest trailer, but off memory of what I've seen, you're talking very close to Ori and the Blind Forest kind of.
Yeah, that's
stunning. Like
that
how beautiful it looks.
Yeah,
as in I can't remember if the art style's the same.
But yeah, no, it's not quite as colourful. We've got a game that's very colourful in the games that we'll get to in just a minute, actually. But yeah, it looks really good. I'm really excited to play it as well. It's kind of, again, not in the way of the art style, but in terms of a platforming, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Limbo.
Right.
In the style of, you've got these puzzles to solve in order to progress and stuff. So,
do you think it will be as traumatic when you fail?
Oh, I'm calling it now. This game will end with Yanni dying. It's going to be a heartbreaking moment. He will save someone or something, but it'll be his last thing. He will become unraveled.
Do you think he'll just like get eaten by a cat?
Well, I hope not. Yeah, like there's the giant owl in Ori and the Blind Forest. The evil one in this is just the cat playing with the yarn. But no, I'm calling it now. Tearjerker of the year.
All right. Well, I'll have to revisit that time.
I hope I'm wrong because I don't want him to die. He's too cute.
Yeah, it depends. Like, when they come out with characters, it's like that. It's like, do they see it as a one and done, or do they think they can build something off it?
Well, he's at the end of the day, he's a piece of yarn, so he could rise from the ashes.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like old Sackboy there.
Yeah, that's true.
Do they see it as something like? Have they planned for that?
It depends. I mean, it's EA, so they'll want to make a series out of it.
Right. Final question though on this one before we move on.
Yeah.
Which one are you playing first, Firewatch or Unravel? Or is it going to be how the mood takes you?
It'll probably be how the mood takes me. I'm really excited for Firewatch though.
Yeah,
That game looks really pretty.
For that.
I'll probably I'll wait and see which game is shorter. I'll read the internet about which game is shorter, and I'll do that one first.
Alright.
Because then that way I can get to the second one quicker.
Okay.
So yeah.
Makes sense.
Maybe I'll just take that week off so I can play both in like a weekend. We'll move on to the games.
Take the week off so you can play both in the weekend.
Yep.
Don't really need to take the week off then, do you?
Well, take the Friday off then. I know what I meant. I realised that what I said was very stupid. Perfect way to end the news.
Yeah.
Me being stupid. Just as we started the year, that's how we'll finish the year. The games this week, not surprising. No big releases. But we do still have, surprisingly, a couple of games coming out. So, last minute Christmas ideas. Make sure you add them. First up, we have Ark Survival Evolved for the Xbox One. Now, this is only a preview game at the moment in time. It's still a preview. I believe it's due out in the summer. So, it's still quite early on.
Yeah.
This is the multiplayer dinosaur survival mystery island game. We talked about it last week,
yes.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
So we won't go into huge detail, but I haven't purchased it yet, but I am going to be purchasing it because I'm trying to be stronger with games now, not buying them until I know I have time to play it. Because if I download it now,
it backlogs.
I know I'm not playing it till at least after Christmas. I don't have time, so I will buy it in the new year probably. But I am excited to play it.
Just remind me, like with the Xbox One preview system, then is it full game price or is it like a early access kind of discount?
It's expensive. It is expensive. It is $27.99.
Right.
So it is quite expensive, but we don't know what the final full price will be. But it is on the model that when you pay it, this Prime money now, that's it. when if the game releases a £50 game, you're not asked to pay more. That's it. That's all you've paid.
Okay.
So, but it is quite a lot of money to chuck in on like
what
what
it
effectively
ended
is.
up? Like, I know it's not, but what if it ends up coming out at 15?
I won't. It won't come out cheaper.
No. But if it comes out cheaper, is it still you've paid that, or is it you get refunded on the difference?
I have no idea. They haven't announced that.
Okay.
But I would like to think that there's no way that they would release the preview at more than what they're planning of. It feels like a full game to me. You know, I would say it would at least be a £30 game.
No, I'm not expecting it to be cheap. It's just more of a case of. I'm just more interested to know how the system as a whole works rather than necessarily on one game.
I would be pissed off. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But I don't expect it to happen. But I am excited to play it, and I will play it before its main release. I'm not going to wait for it. I want to. Although I toyed with the idea, so it's like, shit. What if I buy the preview, and when it comes out full? I'm then only going to have the digital, but I like having the disc. So that does give me a bit of a kind of confliction. But I'm just going to download it. Okay. We have King's Quest Chapter 2 on the PS4. We've talked about King's Quest before. It was originally like a point-and-click storytelling game. A little bit more kind of adventure in this latest revamp of the series. Episode 2 of 4, I believe. Maybe 5. Should have wrote it down. Didn't write it down.
I think it was 4.
I think it's.
I want to say
they're substantially sized games. I mean, they're £8 an episode, so they're a lot bigger. They're split to like 7 or 8 hours, so they're a lot larger than the Telltale kind of story series.
Yeah, which is like what, 2 hours an episode?
Yeah, 2 to 3 hours. Yeah. So that one's there. If you are not sure, episode 1 is still free right now on PlayStation Plus. So. Yes. Or Chapter 1. So maybe you download that for free, see if it's your thing, and then you can decide whether or not you want to find out what happens next. Trine 3 on the PS4. And this game looked like a pretty game.
Yes.
Definitely.
Visually stunning.
Yeah, like the art direction. I really, not sure if it's my kind of game, but from the art style, like really, really interesting. And there's a lot of kind of platforming elements. So saying it's not kind of my type of game is probably a lie because I love platformers. But
yeah, it's like the way of looking at it. It's kind of almost gone from that. I don't want to say open world completely, but it's gone from that sort of like open world sense of you're following your character, and then suddenly you're side scrolling, platforming.
It's like 2.5. It's like 2.5.
And then you're kind of like and sort of like your 2.5D to 3D sort of like little combat arena stuff. It's got a lot of different stuff looking mixed in there.
It looks good. I might actually buy this game. I was very intrigued. I'm going to read some reviews first before jumping in. I like to do my research normally. But yeah, that one looks pretty good. You've seen the overlay, so you can see how it looks. I will let you know if I ever do end up buying it. Blaze Rush on the PS4 looked kind of like a Micro Machines-esque game. Reminded me a little bit of a game called Mashed from the original Xbox PS2 era. It's kind of Micro Machines, but there's a lot more guns involved. Kind of combat with your cars, and you blast your way through. And
there's
top-down basing at the end of the day.
There's a lot of sort of like games out there that I've seen with this sort of styling, but they're fun.
Yeah, it's not doing anything new, but it did look fun. A nice little game maybe to have. I would imagine it has couch co-op as well. So if you're looking for a couch co-op game this Christmas, that could be the one. There might be better ones, but if you're looking for something like that, that will do the job. That's on PS4. Parappa the Rapper 2 has made its return. Originally a PS2 game, PS2 classic. Now joins the likes of Twisted Metal and GTA in the port to the PS4, all up-res to 1080 with the trophy support and everything. If you've never played Parappa the Rapper before, Dan had never heard of it before, and I showed him the videos. And what word would you use to say? Were you inspired?
I think I was confused more than anything.
It's a very 90s game.
Yeah.
It was just, that was the kind of stuff that was coming out in the 90s. If you're too young to remember that era, then you have to play this game. It's a fun, stupid game. I'm not going to play it now. I think I'm bigger and better than Parappa the Rapper, but they're fun games to play. It's £8, so if you get a couple of hours entertainment out of it, it does its job. We have Battle High 2 A+. Yes, that is the name of a video game that's come out for Xbox One. 2D fighting game.
Yeah, it's just a fighting game. You can't say much more than that.
No, we're not fighting experts, so we don't really have much.
They all, I have to admit, they all just look the same to me in the sense of what they're offering. I know the graphics, obviously,
yeah, the visuals look there, but yeah,
it's the same thing.
You press buttons to hit your
mash
target.
X and square.
Oh, fighting fans won't be happy with that. But yeah, I know what you mean. That's all it is to me. It's like I have to get that bar of health down before, but I know it's not. I played. What was the free game we got with PlayStation Plus? It was the DC Universe fighting game.
Oh yeah,
what was it called?
Oh,
anyway,
yeah, that one.
It was a fighting game, and I played a friend who came round, and he plays a bit of fighting games, and I was crap. I could barely get a hit on him.
Mm.
So there's a skill to it that I will never ever learn.
It's like learning all the combos for different characters and stuff like that.
Was learning the controls full stop.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what.
I mean, hats off to the people who can remember it all.
Yeah, it's definitely an art. Yeah,
but to me, it's just I mash buttons as fast as I can and hope I'm faster than you.
So Super Smash Brothers is your happy level of fighting games. Same with me. Where there's basically just three. Again, there is a professional involved in that, but effectively the controls are a lot more simplified.
Yeah.
And then the game to round out 2015. Maybe we should have ended on a high note, but we're not. Red Game without a great name. That is what it's called. It looks. I don't know what it is. It's like a weird kind of mechanical bird that's going through a level of obstacles that you have to avoid by teleporting. Reminded me a little bit of sort of like the game Helicopter, if you ever played that. It was like that's an old school computer game, came to iOS and stuff, where you like an automated side-scrolling world where you have to avoid the obstacles, but this time you do it by teleporting rather than moving.
Yeah, it's like art style,
similar-ish to
Limbo.
Yeah,
I would say to Limbo. Like it's just a case of you got to move a lot faster. So rather than walking and running and jumping from place to place, it's just asking you to teleport yourself quickly.
Yeah,
and so on.
Think Velocity 2X, but with less speed and less awesomeness
and less colour.
Yeah, red. There's a lot of red.
Red and black.
Yeah, that's why it's a red game. Right, great name. And that is it for 2015. There might be a couple of games, but that's it. That's all we're telling you about for the rest of the year. Whether or not there's anything else, you have to find it out yourself.
What we'll find is not obviously next week is next week's Christmas weekend.
Yeah.
The weekend after, there'll be a lot will drop.
There probably will.
There'll be really awesome things that we just don't cover.
There probably won't. I hope not. No. Yeah, it'll be like, boom, Half-Life 3 drops out of air.
If that happens, I'm assuming I'm coming in for an emergency filming session.
I don't have a PC to play it.
Well, we've got to talk about it.
Yeah, I suppose. But yeah, barring Half-Life 3 release, we're not talking now for the rest. Well, there'll be a party chat on Wednesday because we're recording that after this, just to ruin the illusion. But other than
the illusion that wasn't there.
It's not there at all. Anyone with half a brain cell has worked it out. But yeah, so that's it for this channel for this year. Wait a second. What's your game of the week? Before we close up.
I'd pick Blaze Rush actually.
Blaze Rush?
I think that's a game that if we got the three of us
doing
together, that could actually be a lot of fun.
See, I'm tempted to pick Trine 3. Just because it's a little bit different. And
because you're intrigued by it.
I'm very, very intrigued. I loved the aesthetic of it. And it very much drew me. But I'm going to have to pick Dinosaurs. Dinosaurs always win. Even though it's a preview.
Yeah.
It counts. I'll allow it. And I'm in charge. So,
you know how your goal is to ride a pterodactyl in that game? If you manage that in the preview before the real game comes out, does that mean you're not going to bother with the real game? Well, you said that was your goal.
Yeah, basically that's my goal. Once I've flown, I want to fly in and kill someone while riding on top.
Oh, it's grown a little bit.
Yeah, it's good. It's evolved. Well, anyone can just fly a pterodactyl, but I want it to swoop down, and I want to shoot someone with an arrow as I swoop down and just see his head. I don't know if that's possible. But
no, it'll probably just look more along the lines of
probably. Yeah. So that's my pick of the week.
Oh.
I keep sidetracking myself. So yeah, as it is the Christmas spirit, there's probably no one watching this now, so I'll have to actually announce this somewhere else. But I figured that we would do something for Christmas for all you fine folk if our Facebook page, forgot the word there,
Yeah.
gets to 100 likes by Christmas from the filming of this, I will put up a thing for people to see. If you're watching this, thank you very much for actually
Still
seeing
being
it here.
Yeah. You've
Especially
now
through this
you've,
train wreck.
You've entered the rambling stage.
If it reaches 100, we will give away a game. If it reaches 250, we'll give away 2 games. And if it reaches 500, we'll give away 3 games. I'm being very optimistic on that last one. That's a very, very stretched goal.
Yeah.
But, you know, the fact that we've had the page up since June and we have like 40 likes. So, but, you know, when you promise people free stuff, they do come flocking.
Yes.
So it's possible. They will be done at random, and when the winners are announced, if we reach any of those milestones, then it'll be a game of their choosing. Within limited editions, not allowed. Just to clarify, it's like I'll have the £200 Halo 5 Legendary Edition, please. No, you won't. Normal game, basically up to 40 quid or whatever it is.
We'll work it out.
Yeah, we'll work it out if we get there.
Yeah.
But that's it for the year. Thank you, Dan, for turning up every week that you've been on Ireland.
Yeah.
You've given me prior notice when you're not here.
Yeah.
Unlike a certain someone. And Ash, if you're still watching this, sort your life out. You better be watching this. You better be taking notes and doing homework about how you're going to be better in the future. As a human being and as a news reporter.
And that is Matt's Christmas message.
Merry Christmas, everyone. But yeah, for now, leave us comments in below about the news, as always, what you think about Kojima, the Microsoft Nintendo partnership, and whether or not you've played Ark yet. As always, we will respond to any comments we receive. But for now, Dan, thank you.
Matt.
And everyone out there, thanks for watching, and Merry Christmas.